must be done. It cannot be left to blindly throw away money on foolishness.
I agree.
Not exactly sure what I can do.
He has just given away £150 to the Soho soup kitchen, for God's sake.
And that's not all. When I put on my diamond necklace for the McLaren's party last night, he told me it'd be nice to fund his latest ridiculous idea. A playground for the Whitehall Orphanage. Imagine! Mr. Church, you are the family solicitor. Surely you can do something. He's squandering all of our money.
I agree.
Legally, as we know this, it is his prerogative. I'll have a talk with him.
I've tried that. We've all tried that. He will not listen to reason.
Who will not listen to reason? I assume you are speaking of me.
Yes. Jonathan, your family is concerned with the reason that you're dispersing funds for your projects. I must also say, Jonathan, I have some concerns.
What is there to be concerned about? We have money, lots of it. These people are starving and dying. Is it not the Christian thing to do, to give to those who have little or nothing? Well, of course it is, but then what is there to talk about? Reginald, just the other day, I heard a terrible story about a workhouse where children were given practically nothing to eat and worked all day. I would like to see you have funding some improvements there. And
no, Jonathan, no. I've had quite enough of other people and their problems. What about us? We also have needs, and it's our money. Give alms to the poor on Sunday if you must, but let us live how our people of our station should live.
I agree.
And how is it people like us should live? In opulence, while our extravagances eat up the lower classes. Without conscience, as our brothers are mistreated as our brothers. You are my brother. Fitz is my brother. But these people are just the dregs of society who take advantage of your gullible nature.
Dad, Jonathan, can't you see? Somebody has got to be on the bottom. It is just not us. You cannot make equal that which is never meant to be equal.
I agree.
How has it come to pass that I do not know the members of my own family? How is it that my brother has lost his backbone and cannot pass the living child without crying like a woman? Better to cry like a woman than die miser. Reginald, is it not true that as the eldest, I have final word over the full distribution of our money?
Yes, it is.
Then, should I care to have no backbone and to cry like a woman while I throw pound notes out the second story window? I should do it. Jonathan, wait! You look too far.
Gentlemen, behave yourself.
Ridiculous.
This is what I Must for a doctor.
No. What? I have an idea. I think that an opportunity has been presented to him.
Well,
I'm not too sure what it is yet, but let us not waste it.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's kill him.
No.
Or something. This is not the man I married. The man I married had regard for his wife and her needs for comfort. Therefore, this man must be someone other than Jonathan.
Yes. This is not Jonathan Winston. Oh, he looks very much like my brother, but I first noticed the difference. Perhaps.
Oh, I think it was about the time he gave his coat to that beggar on the street, wasn't it?
Yes, about a year ago. So this impostor has been living amongst us as Jonathan, eating our food and spending our money, taking advantage of us.
I'm not sure you'll be able to get away with this. After all, it's your word against his.
And you, and all of you,
He has amnesia.
You, sir, are about to be arrested. You have been masquerading as my husband and have just been found out.
Jeeves, come here at once. The constable must be contacted immediately. Your charade is over, sir. You have been found out.
Mr. Jeeves is a bit under the weather at present. May I be of assistance?
Yes. Have someone sent for the constable. Tell him we have an impostor in our midst. But I haven't done anything.
You, sir, are about to be brought before the court on charges of
Murder.
murder.
Yes. He has murdered my husband.
I haven't murdered anyone. I suppose you don't remember.
What do you remember?
Constable, arrest this man.
On what charge?
Murder.
He certainly did look like Jonathan Winston, but who was I to question the likes of the Winston family and Reginald Church, Esquire? There surely was a most unusual trial. The man was tried and convicted in less than 2 weeks. Fortunately for him, he could not be convicted of murder, as there was no body, but he was sentenced to 17 years of hard labor. I never quite believed him, actually, but I am just a housekeeper, and it is not my place to question.
How's he doing, Doc?
Well, he will live, but I cannot say he will ever look the same. He was beaten fairly severely around the face and head.
Poor fellow. Doesn't remember his name. Now I don't have a face to remember. He was only here one day. Don't take long for the modern cons to spot soft.
Yes, and look at his hands. They haven't seen any hard labor. I will see him maybe 1, 2 more times. The last time to determine the cause of his death. If they even bother with it. How about a wager, Mrs. Sweeney? I will bet that he doesn't last a week.
Can't believe I like the odds. Alright, how much?
How about a bottle?
A bottle of what?
Makes no difference. Anything will do.
A bottle it is then. Got any clean prison rags you can wear? Suppose the old one's got blood all over them.
Oh, let's get our bloody again.
What do you care? You don't have to wash them, do you? Are you awake there? I'm going to call you Mr. 13, as you're so unlucky. Can you hear me, Mr. 13?
I can hear you, but I can't see you very well.
Should I get you up in a bit and go talk to the warden?
The warden? What for?
Prison Barber just got released. I thought Mr. 13 here might just be a good replacement.
Then he's going to be part of the general prison population. How is he going to be wrapped up as a prison barber? Mr. Sweeney, we had a bet, and you tricked me.
He might still be dead in a week. You're just gonna have to wait and see. How about them being prison rags? Can I get you cleaned up before we go talk to the warden? Do you think you can walk, Mr. 13?
Oh, you've got a couple of broken ribs there, but your legs will get you where you need to go.
Thank you.
I appreciate your ministrations. Those aren't words I hear often in this place.
Administrations. I believe you'll get on real well with the warden, Mr. Dirty.
I never knew what he looked like before. But over the years, I got the damage to his face down to just a couple scars. You know, he turned out to be one of the most unusual prisoners I'd ever seen. Not only was he a prison barber, he was quite good at it. Never lost his manners either. He was a true gentleman. It is, however, such a shame about the amnesia. Never remembered who he was. Just assumed the name 13. And he went by that name for 17 years.
I got Miss Summons what this was. Came right away. He's not here yet.
No, but he should be here at any moment. It's hard for me to say I'm going to Mr. Prisoner, but Mr. Sweeney, I believe I'm going as Mr. 13.
I know what you're saying, Brother. It's a hard place when you get a prison it is. Don't believe I've ever come across a prisoner like Mr. 13. He's made the place, it sounds daft, but he's made the place a bit more civilized.
Yes, I believe he has, Mr. Sweeney.
It's a shame they never found the body of that bloke who's supposed to kill him. If they had, he'd be a verse his life.
Come in. Warden Todd.
The guard said you wish to see.
Yes, please come in. Mr. Sweeney here and I have been talking about your release tomorrow, and we want to give you something once you're outside.
That's very kind of you both.
I remember the time I first laid eyes on you, Mr. 13. I'm thinking of making a week, let alone 17 years.
Well, being the prison's barber saved my life, Mr. Sweeney. I'll forever be grateful to you and Warden Todd.
Well, I hope this helps me transition from prisoner to businessman.
Razors and barber shears. You're most kind and generous.
Yes, it'd be very difficult out there. People work hard and barely earn enough to eat. Return to crime, and as much as we like you, we rebel in that returns. So you will need the proper tools of your trade to make a new start. If you get your clothing tomorrow, this would be one of the items issued to you.
It's good luck, Mr. 13.
Yes, and Godspeed.
Thank you. Sir, I was wondering if I might ask one more favor from each of you.
What is
Yes, of course.
Well, I can't very well go out into London calling myself number 13, could I? Perhaps I could have a name.
I don't understand.
But I was thinking I might take one name from each of you, you who have been so kind.
Robert William.
Actually, I never knew your given names. I was thinking more like Todd and Sweeney.
Or Sweeney Todd.
Yes, Sweeney Todd.
He was a model prisoner. I meant it when I said I was going to miss him. I just didn't know how much at the time. We haven't had a decent barber since he left. I suggested he try to slap around Fleet Street, as where the gentlemen who frequent barbershops might be found. Bankers, solicitors, newspapermen, and the like. It turns out it was a life-changing suggestion.
Well, Mrs. Lovett, it's just that my Tobias here is getting a bit too old to be working round the girls. If you know what I mean.
Yes, Mrs. Stevens, I do know what you mean. But the thing is,
now don't you be getting all fancy with me, Lucy. Sugar Mom is what everyone calls me, included you. Excepting when there's trouble. And I ain't looking for no trouble.
Right, sorry, Sugar Mom. I would love to take Tobias on. Really, I would. There's so much work in the shop.
Excuse me. I'm looking for Mrs. Lott.
That would be me, sir.
Yes, well, the upstairs of this establishment is for let. The sign said to see Mrs. Lott.
Business has just gotten a bit better. And what would you be needing it for?
Well, I'm a barber by trade, Mrs. Love.
A barber?
Would it be suitable for a barber shop?
Oh, why, of course it would. I'm Amanda Stevens. I live next door, but everyone just calls me Sugar Mum. Why, all the gentlemen's visit and my girls next door likes to look their best, get a shave and a clean haircut before they comes over.
Sugar Mum here runs a girl's boarding house next door.
We've a lot of gentlemen callers.
Oh, I see.
My last tenant was a dentist. He left us. You're welcome to buy it if you like. Or do you have your own chair? Tobias here can carry it up for you. For a fee.
Well, I would very much like a chair. That would be very nice. But I cannot pay you right now. As soon as I have a few customers, I can give you every cent until it is paid. But for now...
Can't pay up front.
Would you excuse us for just a moment? Tobias. Lucy, you've been trying to let that space since that dentist ran off a year ago without paying a halfpenny. Now, I'll tell you what I'll do. If you take on my Tobias here, I'll have my girls request their gentlemen clean shaven before they come a-calling, and we can have a special girl here out rounding up new customers.
Oh, please, Mrs. Lovett, I'll be a real good worker, and you don't have to pay me as long as I can sleep on the floor of the shop.
He's a real good worker. He is.
And I'll go out on the street and drum up for the business for the barber so he can make lots of money.
All right. Mr.
Todd. Sweeney Todd.
Right. Mr. Todd, I'll take you up as my tenant. We'll go up the stairs, and Tobias here can carry your bags and such.
Yes, well, that will not be necessary as I don't have anything for him to carry. You see, I've just been released.
Oh, we don't care what your circumstances are here, Mr. Todd. What counts with us is what happens from here on out. We all have a past, and we just try to help each other out as best we can. Right, Mrs. Lovett?
Right. Sugar Mum. Well, Mr. Todd, if you're ready to see your new space.
Yes, of course, Miss Love.
Well, Tobias, you got yourself a new situation and you didn't even have to move very far from us.
Are you sure I got leave?
Oh, you know you do, darling. It was all fine and good when you was a little one, but God knows a cat house was a much better place for you than the workhouse. But we're starting to get customers your own age, and it just ain't right. You understand, sweet pea? You'll get more to eat here. Mrs. Lovett's meat pies may not be selling as much as she'd like, but they're good, and she can pay you in food for a while. Oh, I'm just so glad that you're not out there living as some do. London's a bad place for young people. It leads you right up.
Yes, ma'am. Sarah, I'm going to be working for your mum now, staying here, so you let me know if you want me to do anything, because I don't know how things work around here yet.
Okay, Toby. Well, back to that.
Well, you can fix it up any way you like, Mr. Todd. Just don't go putting any holes in the floor. The kitchen's right below, and I don't want anything accidentally slipping into the meat pies.
Yes, of course, Mrs. Love. Oh my. This is much nicer than the one I had before.
Yes, well, I don't know what a proper barber's chair looks like, but I imagine this one will do nicely.
Yes.
Well, I'll leave you to get about your business, Mr. Todd. Oh, and Mr. Todd, my daughter Sarah is the most important thing in this world to me. You will not disrespect her.
Yes, of course, Mr. Love. I have no intention of disrespecting anyone.
As well, a woman can't be too careful these days.
Sweeney Todd, Barber on Fleet Street.
I liked him the minute I saw him. He seemed like, girls. Oh my goodness. Oh, hello. Oh, thank you so much. Good job, ladies. Keep going. Such lovely girls. As I was saying, I liked him the minute I saw him. He seemed like such a gentleman under all them scars on his face. I kind of wondered about them scars. conspirators.
Toby, do you think you could sweep the floor of the kitchen when you're done in here? I accidentally spilled some flour while I was putting it away, and I've got to get to the butcher shop tonight before it closes.
Yes, of course, Sarah.
Toby, you seem different.
Different from what?
Well, I've known you. It seems my whole life. But before, you were just the boy from next door you used to play with sometimes. Now you're, I don't know, just different. I guess it sounds a bit mad.
No, I get what you're saying. I feel the same way. You were just a little girl that was fond of teens, but all of a sudden you're not a girl anymore. Special girl. I haven't seen you around recently. What have you been up to?
That's very kind of you to help the new barber. Is his business getting better?
Now, I know he's been shaving lots of men, but women too. And what would a woman want with a barber?
I know exactly what you're saying. Oh, special girl, do you think you can mind the shop for a few minutes? Wise, he has some work to finish in the back, and I've got to get to the butcher shop. Thank you. Toby, I'll only be about 30 minutes. Special girl here will let you know if we have any customers. Oh, and Mother may make it back before I do, not busy.
Yes, we'll be all right. Just fine. All right, I have to clean up some flour in the back. If the customer comes by, you just come and get me, all right? All right, then.
Excuse me. Where is your mother? What's the matter with you? Can't you speak? Where is the owner of this establishment? Oh, this certainly is the last time I venture all the way down to this part of town on rumor of a decent meat pie. You people are all so disgusted.
I know her. I know her. She was unkind to you. Are you all right? A stupid cow. Yes, I think I agree. I do not remember who she was, but I do not think I liked her very much either. I don't know. I started to remember something. I can't quite get to it. Special good. Would you like to come upstairs and help me clean up the shop a bit? Well, I suppose I'll stay down here and help you watch the shop for a while. I don't think I want to be alone right now.
I know at first I was a bit skeptical of him, but the more I got to know him, the more I realized what a kind and decent man he was. You see, us working folk were always fighting each other. For every scrap we could get, we were just getting eaten up by all them posh folk. I hadn't realized that we could help each other. I hadn't met many kind or decent men up to that point in my life, and, well, I began to like him very much.
Why, just church! We haven't seen you in the longest time.
Yes, Mrs. Winston. Mrs. Winston, how are you both?
Oh, we're so very well, Dutch. Teddy and I just returned from a trip to the continent. After staying in Paris for weeks, we met the most interesting people. We're thinking about traveling to America next summer. First class, of course. Teddy just insisted upon it.
Yes, well, for the money you came into when Jonathan is legally declared dead, I'm sure you can afford it.
Oh, yeah. We can certainly afford to go first class anyway. Abby, isn't that just butter upon bacon? If I had come up with a plan to do away with Jonathan, neither one of you would be living nearly so well. So, sorry now.
Winston, thank you to keep your voice down.
Oh, yes, we wouldn't want all these fine people here knowing how you came into the money you received to buy your judgeship. Excuse me.
Winston, please!
was easy for both of you, wasn't it? You were not the one who ended up marrying the drunk of a brother-in-law. I gave up more than anything. It's just not fair. It was my idea.
Reginald? Oh, chap.
Hey, what are you doing in these parts? I haven't seen you in quite a while.
Fitz, please. You smell like the inside of this.
I was speaking to the judge, you miss. My dear.
Yes, lovely to see you, old chap, but I'm afraid I have a meeting at the Old Bailey, and I must be off. Lovely to see you too.
Goodbye, Dad. Just look at you, Fitz. Half rats and need a shave and a haircut. Why don't you go see if you can find a barber up again? I can keep our shop.
Yes, of course, my dear. Anything that you say, my dear.
We'll take the coach. Why don't you just find a taxi home?
Of course, my dear. Oh, what's this? Well, what is it? What devil? Can't you speak? You're trying to tell me about Barber. Oh, is that it? Yes, I suppose Eunice was right up. Oh, I could use a shave.
Yes, sir. Please, try the meat pie as well as you're there.
Perhaps I will. Thank you, Mr. Todd. See you next time.
Yes, of course. Ah, special girl. Looks as though you brought me a custard.
Yes, I say, old chap. Just a shave and a bit of trim.
Yes, sir. Please, let me take your hat and your coat, please. I beg your pardon, sir.
I'm so sorry, just so many questions.
I see.
Hey.
You seem a bit familiar. Have we met before?
No, I don't come around these parts so little often.
I will tell you, Mr. I beg your pardon, sir, but you did not tell me your name.
Winston.
Winston. Well, I will tell you, Mr. Winston, I'm surprised you don't visit our area more often. Why, everyone knows we are known for banks, taverns, and newspapers, but only the lucky ones know as we have wonderful eateries here. Yes, yes. Now, not only do we have marvelous eateries here, but there's one downstairs. Can you smell it? Mrs. Lovell makes the most wonderful meat pies. She is a marvel, that Mrs. Lovell. She's also my landlady. I think she's most lovely. Yes, most lovely. Well, not only do we have marvelous eateries here, but the latest fashions from around the continent may be found if you know right where to look. And if I may be so bold, sir, but there is a house next door where a gentleman may find, well, anything he's looking for, if you know what I mean. I do beg your pardon, sir, but I do believe we have met before.
No, I'm sure not.
Well, perhaps a brother that looks like you.
Well, I only have a brother that's alive. Theodore. We call him Teddy. Perhaps he's, come to your shop.
Teddy. Teddy Winston.
Yes, Teddy Winston. Do you know him?
Mr. Winston. You said you only had one brother, that was a lie. Do you have other brothers?
Well, I had a brother, John. He died, 17 years ago?
How did he die?
Hey, I say, old chap, are you all right?
Yes. Yes, it's quite all right. Please sit back, Mr. Winston. I'm not going to live there. Tell me, sir. How did your brother die? Was he perhaps murdered by an impostor who was given a quick trial and thrown in Newgate prison?
What the devil?
I wouldn't struggle so much. But I've got to rest. Now, tell me, Eunice, is she happy?
What? Yes? No? Well, I don't know. She married me, and, well, I don't think she likes me very much. I also wanted me to give up the child, and, well, child! Yes, this is the time when her husband's imposter was taken to prison. She was pregnant with his child. After she gave birth, I made her give it away.
Give it away! The child! Where is it?
I don't know. Who are you? How do you know so much about my...
Where is the child?
You're asking me.
Where?
A workhouse somewhere.
A workhouse?
Mr. Todd! What have you done? He's dead! Who is he? Who is he?
I remember who I was. I remember what happened. I remember it all! I'm a child.
I don't know what you did, darling, but this meat pie is the most delicious thing I've ever tasted, and that's saying a lot.
Sarah, whatever you changed in the recipe, you need to make sure it's a permanent change.
You're right. These are really good, but I can't think of anything to taste. Oh, Mother, did you put new spice for me? These are so good. What? Sarah, what did you do? I made a batch of meat pie. Oh, Mother, I don't know what I did, but these are the best meat pies I've ever made.
I can attest to that. In fact, I think we'll have another.
Oh.
What's wrong with that?
Oh, I think she's just got bits.
Bits?
By a love bug, of course. She can't find Mr. Todd anywhere, and she's just imagining the worst.
I like Mr. Todd too. I can see my mother. Oh,
Mr. Todd! We was just talking about you.
Yes, we were just saying how much we thought you liked the new meat pies I made. You're really good.
Well, thank you, sir. I think I will.
No! Sorry, please. Mr. Todd, I don't know what.
Sir.
Remember how we were worried about what to do with your brother's body? Well, he accidentally slipped into the meat grinder, and, well,
Oh.
he was the most amazing man. As soon as he learned the little slip he had in his brother's fit, but he went right to work. Me, I'm going to be a bit more hesitant to do anything out of the ordinary. But not my Sweeney, no. He's not afraid to be bold. He came up with a plan right away, even if it was a bit ghastly.
What the devil are you doing?
Giving you a very close shave, sir. Now tell me, what happened to the child that you escaped on?
I don't know. Or we were sent to an orphanage in the East End. That's all I know, I swear.
Thank you, Richard.
Winston, how he was convicted of impersonating his own self. He changed. Truth be told, I believe I liked the old Sweeney better. The new one was a bit off. He made a list of all those who had wronged him.
You don't remember me, do you, Mr. Lancaster? Now, that's quite understandable. My face looked a bit different before it was beaten to a pulp in a prison yard. You remember the one you sent me to? When you took money to lose as my barrister!
Revenge didn't benefit me. Quite the opposite, actually. Even if I wasn't happy about the secret ingredient, the demand for my meat pies was tough enough.
Excuse me, could you direct me to the owner of this establishment?
Oh, that was Mrs. Lovett. I expect she's in the kitchen with all these people and frying the meat pies.
Yes, I can see that. I might just have to try one while I wait. Thank you. Hello, young lady. I'm sorry you don't speak. You would like to know if I would want a meat pie? Yes, I would. Thank you. Oh, and would you let Mrs. Lovett know I wish to speak to her? I'm Inspector Quinn McIntosh of Scotland Yard.
Your Majesty.
We have heard that your meat pie is here, better than we have ever tasted.
If it pleases you, Your Majesty, you may taste it for yourself.
We are very impressed. Please have 12 dozen delivered to the Buckingham Palace by Thursday. I wish to serve them at the dinner I'm giving for the visiting American president.
Yes, Your Majesty. Next Thursday it will be.
You are Mrs. Lovett?
Yes.
Mrs. Lovett, I'm Inspector Quinn McIntosh of Scotland Yard.
Scotland Yard? Oh my.
Mrs. Lovett, I'm investigating the disappearance of 3 men in the past few days. All last seen in this vicinity of this area of Fleet Street. One of the men, Fitzhubert Winston, was last seen on his way to a barber shop.
Have you tried the meat pies yet, Detective?
Yes, of course.
Well, I don't know any Mr. Winston, but I'm sure he's around here somewhere.
Delicious, Mrs. Lovett. What is your secret? My wife makes meat pies that are good, but they are nothing like these.
Oh, Detective, if I told you, I'd have to kill you.
Mrs. Lovett, could you direct me to the nearest barber shop?
There is a barber upstairs. Mr. Todd is my tenant. He's a wonderful man and a very good barber. He is not in at the moment. Shall I have him contact you?
That would be just fine. You can have him come down to Scotland Yard at his convenience tomorrow. Oh, and Mrs. Lovett, would it be too much trouble for me to ask you to grab up 2 more meat pies for me to take home?
Not at all.
Oh, but ain't you just got one more for me, husband? I told you, Mrs. Beecher. We don't have any left. We ran out about an hour ago, and I've got to talk to my mother about getting more ingredients. stenches out a secret ingredient.
Oh, he's going to start eating me cats again. I only got 4 left.
Sarah?
You know, you can tell your sugar mum. What is that? A secret ingredient?
I don't know. No, really, I don't know what it is. Mother won't tell me, and Gazetta's always blocking putting together her ingredients. I don't know why she won't tell me father.
Oh, it's all right, darling. Don't you never mind. Lord knows we all got our reasons for the things we done.
Sarah, you know we're going to have any more meat pies in? I thought Miss Havenstock was going to explode when I told them we was all out.
No, I don't! I'm sorry, Toby. It's that the customers are upset and Mother hasn't gone to the butcher shop in 2 weeks. I don't know how to make meat pies without any meat.
Now, we haven't gotten any packages delivered from the butcher. And you does most of the market buying.
Oh, just look at her. The poor thing. She ain't even enjoying all of her success.
You're right, Mom. She seems to have gone down to that cellar. I wonder why that is.
The way I see it, you got 2 options. Either ask her or wait for her to tell you.
Right, Toby. I'll try to wait till she's ready to talk to me, but we haven't got any left. We've been lucky lately, but if we're making no income, how are we going to keep from starving?
Maybe Mr. Todd can talk to her.
Oh, yes, she really fancies him. Mr. Todd, come never would.
Of course, sir.
It's that, my mother. She isn't making any more feelings. She seems awfully sad. No, not sad.
Depressed.
Yes, that's it. Depressed.
Yes, well, I'll try and have a word with her, sir. Just might have some news to share about.
Thank you, Mr. Todd. I'm so happy.
Special. You allow me and Mrs. Love to try our conversation. Yes, well, I'll try to. Lucy?
Sweeney, the inspector from Scotland Yard was back again today. You're the one who seen him, hadn't you?
No, I'll go and see him tomorrow.
That's what you said yesterday, and the day before that, and the day before that, and...
I know! I've been busy. I promise I will go and see him tomorrow. It's too dangerous for all of us to have him snooping around here. I really was busy. I know you just found out.
We're out.
What?
We're out. Secret ingredient.
Well, that's actually what I want to talk about. I just sent word to my brother, Ted. I told him an inspector from Scotland Yard has news about his missing brother. To meet him at Mrs. London's meat function. When he arrived, he would tell him that the inspector is upstairs in the barber shop, and he left word from the streets to wait. And then we'll have more of those secret ingredients there, Lucy. We'll be able to make more meat pies now, isn't that wonderful?
Yes, Sweeney, that's wonderful. Excuse me, but I have some cleaning up to do inside.
I wonder what's the matter with her. No matter. I have my own business to attend to. More like preparations of a sort.
It certainly was a bit curious, Mrs. Lovett acting so depressed and all. And that Mr. Todd, well, he was even more curious. Is there not a sort of change come over him that day? And well, it's not for the likes of me to say what, but he actually started to scare me a bit after that day.
Excuse me, sir. I was told that Inspector McIntosh was up here.
Yes, he was. All the way. Are you Mr. There with you?
Yes, I am. The woman downstairs told me he was up here.
Yes, well, he must have stepped out while she was in the shop. matter for that word means wait for it.
This is preposterous. I cannot wait for Paul's day for some inspection.
Might I suggest you sit and take advantage of a complimentary shave while you wait? He said it would not be but 10 minutes.
Oh. All right.
I'm sure the inspector must have had very important business to keep a gentleman like you waiting. They didn't tell me what it was all about, but then again, it's not my business. Tell me, sir, how do you feel about giving money to those less fortunate than yourself?
So, what are you trying to say?
Listen, drop while I'm not raising my hand. Now, how do you feel about those who have lost their backbone and can't walk past a limping child crying, what was it? Like the Queen's name. I wouldn't struggle so much, Teddy. This register just might slip. Now, listen, that's better. You're going to answer the questions for me. Not me. Who are you? You mean you don't recognize my voice? No matter. We'll just have to play a guessing game. If we're going to play a guessing game, I'll release my hold on you ever so slightly, so it'll be a bit easier for you to answer.
What do you want?
I will ask the questions here, Teddy. Now, we're going to play guessing. You're going to need to guess the answer to a question. What shall I ask? So yes. What did you say happened to your brother? Jonathan. Yes. Yes, I can tell by your voice. You realize your brother Jonathan survived prison and is now working as a humble father. Now, second question. I've been looking for my child, you know, the one that Eunice gave up after I was sent away. The child is in an orphanage at East End. I can find you a record of the child. Tell me, where is it? Oh, I don't lie to me, Teddy. I just get so flustered at my race.
The child left the orphanage at the age of 5. That's all I know.
That's all you know. Pity you. I bet a great deal of money, nosy, up on everyone's business, Abigail. There's a great deal more than it has. Oh, but no. I promised Lucy I would go talk to that inspector at Scotland Yard. Abigail, wait for another day. Mrs. Winston, so kind of you to see it.
Yeah, well, Mrs. Dew said that it had something to do with my husband.
Yes, it does, your husband, Mr. Winston.
Yeah? Well, what about him? I have not seen him for 2 whole days. What is this about, Mr.
Todd. Sweeney Todd.
Yeah, Mr. Todd.
Begging your pardon, madame, but would you, the gentleman, like to speak?
No, we would not.
Yes, sir.
Yes, well, your husband, Mr. Winston, Mr. Teddy Winston.
Theodore. His name is Theodore Winston. You presume, Mr. Todd. Only his family called him Teddy.
Oh, yes. How stupid of you. Your husband was at my shop not 2 days ago.
He was? Well, where's your shop? Where did he
you even know this?
Mrs. Winston, one question at a time. Your first question. Was it? Yes, it was. Your second question. There's my barber shop. It is on Fleet Street. Well, your third question. Fortunately, the answer to that one is a bit delicate.
What? A bit delicate.
Where he went after he left my shop.
Mr. Todd, where did he go?
My barber shop is located next to a house of women. Women who charge for their services.
No.
I'm afraid so. While your husband was there, he also mentioned there was a child. A child of this house who was sent away some 17 years ago.
He told you? Yes, well, I did keep track of the child. It seemed almost a sin to send such a child of aristocratic blood to an orphanage.
Do you know what happened to the child in the orphanage?
Well, in an orphanage, once children have reached the age of 5 and have not yet been adopted, they're sent to a workhouse. Imagine a child with Winston blood in a
workhouse!
Mr. Todd!
Excuse me, madame, but there is an Inspector McIntosh of Scotland Yard here to see you.
Yes, show him in. Now? Yes, madame.
Please, excuse my outburst, Mrs. Winston. It is just that I abhor workhouses.
Yes, well, I believe that they have their place.
Might I inquire as to what that place might be?
Inspector McIntosh of Scotland Yard.
Thank you. Mrs. Winston, I came here. Mr. Todd, what are you doing here?
Yes, well, after our conversation the other day, I started thinking about all the men you were asking about and how they were in some way connected to the Winstons. So I came here to talk to Mrs. Winston, and then when her husband disappears, I just remembered I'm very late for an appointment. You will excuse me. Please thank Mrs. Winston.
My word, you certainly seemed in quite a hurry, didn't you?
Yes, quite a hurry.
Mrs. Winston.
Yes? Yes, Inspector?
Mrs. Winston, I came here today because I got a message that your husband went missing 2 days ago.
Yeah?
Can you tell me who the last person to see him was and when?
Well, Mr. Todd said that after he left his barbershop, he went...
Mr. Todd! Mr. Todd saw your husband the day he disappeared.
Yeah?
So, your brother-in-law, your family solicitor, and now your husband have all gone missing. Don't you find that a bit odd?
Yeah. That is a bit odd, isn't it?
Mrs. Winston, do you know a Mr. Robert Lancaster?
Lancaster. I know I've heard that name before. Oh! I believe it was Mr. Lancaster that defended the man that impersonated my brother-in-law Jonathan. But I can't be too sure his name was Robert.
Possible, there's or which city possible. Mrs. Winston, I must take my leave of you now. I have a great many facts that are connected. I just need to puzzle them all. May I meet you here should I have any further questions?
Yeah, what?
Thank you again, Mrs. Winston.
Yes, madame? I believe I'll have that tea now. Yes, madame.
Sarah?
Yes, Toby.
I've been waiting to get you alone for 2 days.
And what would you be wanting to get me alone for?
No, I'm serious.
Toby, is something wrong?
No, I just
Sarah, I've been thinking on you. Sarah, I love you, and I want to marry you.
Wise man, I would love to marry you.
You will?
Yes.
Sarah, I was wondering if... Sarah Lovett! What do you think you're doing?
Mrs. Lovett, I would like to marry Sarah.
Married? You want to get married? Oh, yes, Mother. I love Toby well since forever. We've practically known each other all our lives. But you're too young.
I will be 17 next week. How old were you when you got married?
It was a different time. What will you do? How will you get by?
We haven't thought about that yet.
I have. I've talked to Mr. Todd about teaching me the barber business. I'm going to have my own shop, just like Mr. Todd. And Sarah can help you own the shop. That's all right.
Oh, Mother, don't cry. We can wait a while.
It's not that, dear. Oh, I don't know what to say. I'm all mixed up right now. Of course you can get married. I'm very happy you found a nice young man to spend your life with.
Why, this looks like a happy bunch. By the smiles.
We're getting married, Mr. Todd. Me and Tobias are getting married.
Mary, that's one. Yes, one. Lucy, I have a question that needs an answer very quickly.
Of course. What is it?
What would you guess happened to a child who was sent to a workhouse at the age of, say, 5? How would I find such a child?
Why do you want to know?
I have my reasons. Lucy, it's nothing to do with it. I just want to know how to find a child who was sent to a workhouse here in London at the age of 5. What might have happened to him or her?
You don't know if it's a boy or a girl.
I didn't ask. Why didn't I ask?
Quite an interesting time. Sarah, Toby, come here, please. Yes, I have something to tell you. What is it? Yes, you can hear too. Mr. Todd has just asked me what happens to children who are sent to workhouse. Well, I know better than most of what happens. I've never told a soul, but it's time I told you now, Sarah. Mr. Lovett was a hard and drinking man. He was employed by a workhouse. You were 6 when I rescued you from that workhouse, Sarah. You had been there about a year, and I don't know what you've done to upset Mr. Lovett so, but by the time I walked in, he had beaten you within an inch of your life. I didn't know what I was doing. I was out of my mind when I saw the blood and him about to... Anyway, I gave him a mighty shove, and he fell and hit his head on something, I don't know what, and he was dead. Just like that. I grabbed you and left him lying there on the floor, looking like he got drunk and fell and hit his head. When they found him, I acted surprised and like I was sorry he was gone. He had a bit of money put away I didn't know about. Don't know what he was doing with that, but I used it to open up the meat pie shop, seeing as that was about all I knew how to do. Cook. I didn't see any sense in saying anything to you, seeing as everyone thought you were my daughter, and you called me mother. I couldn't have loved you more if you were my own blood. Sorry, never said anything before all this.
Thank you, Mother.
I was shocked. They just told me about it. I never did. Child was in an orphanage in the East End. At the age of 5, the child left the orphanage. We can find her back. It'd be quite a coincidence if you were. I'm sure an awful lot of children who were in orphanages were sent to workhouses. But
All right, ladies and gents, we don't have no more meat pies today. Don't you go worrying yourselves none. We can have lots more tomorrow. Give them tables with them. Sarah. Yes, Mother. I think we might be low on flour. Could you go into the back and make sure? If we are, quickly run to the mill. Yes, Mother.
Tobias. So if we finish cleaning up down here, we can head upstairs and get started on our schooling.
Schooling?
Barber schooling, Tobias.
Oh, yes, sir.
Actually, I would like to put off your schooling for a bit. Tobias, is it?
Yes, I'm Tobias. Who are you?
I'm Inspector Quinn McIntosh of Scotland Yard. May I please have you all sit down for a few minutes and help?
Mother, we're not Sarah, dear. Inspector McIntosh has asked us to sit and help him for a few minutes. All right? I don't understand.
I'm sure you're confused, Miss Lovett. As am I. That's actually what I was hoping you could help me with. My confusion. I have several pieces of a puzzle, but I'm just not sure how they all fit together. Nor am I sure exactly what the puzzle will look like when it's finished.
Well, it ain't a very good puzzle then, is it, Inspector?
What I do know is that 4 gentlemen have recently gone missing without a trace. A Mr. Fitzhubert Winston, a Judge Reginald Church, a Mr. Robert Lancaster, Esquire, and most recently, a Mr. Theodore Winston, all last seen in the vicinity of this shop.
You're not trying to say that our meatballs are involved, are you?
Absolutely not, Miss Lovett. I myself have enjoyed your meat pies on many occasions. They are delicious. No, I'm stating fact that they were all last seen in this vicinity. Further, Fitzhubert Winston was last seen on his way to a barber shop, and Theodore Winston was last seen by Mr. Todd, a barber. That is just one piece, however. Another is each one of these men had some sort of connection to the Winston family. Young lady, why are you trying to leave?
She says that she don't want to be here no more.
Can you tell me why it is you don't want to be here anymore?
She says,
I'm sure we all understood approximately what she said. Now, young lady.
Special girl. Her name is Special Girl.
Yes, well, Special Girl. Do you know any of these men?
She says she don't know no Fitz Winston, or no Teddy Winston, or any of them others.
Are you sure that's what she said? That she doesn't know a Fitz or a Teddy Winston?
She says that's exactly what I said, you you stupid copper.
That's interesting to me. Do you know why that's interesting to me, Special Girl? It's interesting because I read those names off my notes here. I referred to the men as Fitzhubert Winston and Theodore Winston. Never once did I refer to them as Fitz or Teddy. Yes, that is how you refer to them. How is it that you knew them by their nicknames?
That's quite enough, Inspector. We agreed to help you with your puzzle. We did not say you were going to verbally assault a young girl.
All right, Special Girl. Oh, hush you.
Very well. Let us move on. Now I understand there's a third brother that no one has mentioned. A third brother that was presumed dead, but body was never found. 3 brothers, all missing. Quite an unusual circumstance, isn't it? Please do not assume that all my questions are rhetorical. You may answer at any time. Now I started to think to myself, who would want to get rid of 3 brothers? Then I remembered a small difference between the disappearance of the first brother and the other 2. The first brother, Jonathan was his name. Did I mention that? Yes, well, it seems there was an impostor living amongst the Winston family impersonating Jonathan Winston for quite some time. No one knows for exactly how long. Can you imagine it? Not knowing you were living with an impostor of your own brother. For or your husband. Neither could I.
Excuse me for interrupting, Inspector, but you don't seem to be helping you with your puzzle. Seems like you're doing most of the talking.
You are quite right on one front, Tobias. I am doing most of the talking, but that's because no one has interrupted me yet to tell me that what I am saying is false. You are incorrect, however, stating you are not helping me. Sometimes what you don't say can help me just as much as what you do say. I asked another interested party to meet me here. She was supposed to be here 5 minutes ago. No matter. My next clue came to me when I was investigating the disappearance of Jonathan Winston. See, the man prosecuted of impersonating Jonathan was recently released from Newgate Prison. Further, here she is now. Over here, Mrs. Winston. Eunice. This is Mrs. Eunice Winston, former wife of Jonathan Winston and Fitzhubert Winston, whom she married after Jonathan's disappearance.
Yes, that is correct. I still have no idea as to why you insisted on here.
I was just going over the details of the missing Winston men and was about to say that Judge Reginald Church was the family solicitor at the time the impostor was discovered, and Mr. Robert Lancaster was the barrister for the Winston impostor and apparently did a wretched job of defending him. No comment. All right. As I said before, the man prosecuted of impersonating Jonathan Winston was recently released from Newgate Prison. The warden spoke quite fondly of this man. He couldn't remember his own name when he arrived, so they called him 13. But they gave him a new name upon his release. Oh, did I mention he served as the prison's barber the entire time he was in prison? Can you guess what name it was he took upon his release?
Sweeney Todd.
Your question, Detective.
So, you're saying that Mr. Todd was the imposter all along? Jonathan?
Don't you recognize my voice, Eunice? I know my face looks different. But that's to be expected, considering it was beaten to a bloody pulp in a prison yard!
So Sweeney Todd is not the imposter, but is actually Jonathan Winston? This certainly changes the puzzle.
You knew all along there was no imposter. I have just one question for you. Where is the child?
How do you know about the child?
Let's see! Vince, Reginald, and Teddy told me most of it, but Abigail confirmed that she was sent to a workhouse. A workhouse, you sentenced our daughter to a workhouse!
Daughter? Jonathan, I gave birth to a son.
Son?
Yes. We have a son. It's made me give him up, but I do not want to, Jonathan. I've searched and searched for him, but have not been able to find him. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry about everything. You, Tobias, the prisoner.
What does Tobias have to do with it?
That was his name. I made the orphanage promise to name him after my father. I would know him even today because he had a heart-shaped birthmark on his shoulder. Why are you all?
My name is Tobias, miss. I was in an orphanage in the East End. When I was 5, they sent me to a workhouse. That's a very lovely name. Rag. Clothes were always in rags. Sugar Monkey had plucked me out of that workhouse and raised me.
How old are you?
17 then. My birthday's in July. I have a heart-shaped birthmark on my right shoulder. Did your son have his on his left? You're my mother. And you're my father.
I hate to interrupt your family reunion, but I believe you need to come with me.
I love my mother. I know I will need to atone for my sins, Inspector, but please, just give me a few moments to say goodbye to my friends and family.
As long as I have your word as the gentleman who was Jonathan Winston, you will come with me after.
You have my word. Tobias is a very gentle, honest, and hard-working young man. Tell me, what is it you plan to do?
Well, it's up to Tobias, but I would like him to come take his place as head of the Winston family and fortune.
Thank you. Tobias, I could not be more proud. I know you are my son-in-law, like a witness.
Mr. Todd, I just wanted to say we certainly is going to miss having you around here. My girls, they got used to their gents being clean-shaven and smelling nice.
Thank you, sugar mom. Take care of my girls.
Oh, of course.
Lucy, you're an exception. I never wanted any part of secret to dream. You know, I know.
Yes, I know.
I'm not sure what the visiting situation is at Newgate. I'm sure that if the prison barber position is open, you'll have a voice.
May I have a word with her in private?
I suppose so, Mr. Todd, but my patience is wearing a bit thin. Please, be quick about it.
Sit. What were you thinking? This is Pascal. What I did was wrong. It's wrong to kill people. You understand? I know. I wanted revenge for your father. It drove me to the edge of my sanity. And what did it get me? Death. Happiness. It brought a lot of bad things down. I lost my son. I lost the woman I loved. My business. Yes. And my special girl.
I believe your time is about up, Mr. Todd. Let's hear it.
It might seem a bit odd, but he was back to his old self. I was so relieved to go back to making the meat pies the way I used to. And then Mrs. Winston asked Tobias to move in with her and that other snooty one. He goes to visit, but he says it don't feel right moving in. It's nice he's got some blood family of his own, although I can't say that I like them much. He's going to inherit a lot of money. My Sarah's going to be right there beside him.
Hello, Governor. They brought him in. He's coming up soon.
Wonderful. Sorry I didn't see him come back.
It's so wonderful for him. Still don't see how he got convicted on those disappearances. Never did find the bodies.
I understand he didn't put much of a defense. Good first they couldn't hang him since he couldn't prove those gents were dead.
Still not so good for him.
Oh, come in. Well, you're a sight for sore eyes. Good to have you back.
Thank you, sir. Got your old still all ready for you. Use that poor excuse for a barber house. I've got your old Shane barber shop back too.
Thank you, Mr. Sweeney. Well, I saw, as you were brought under two names, Jonathan Winston, alias Sweeney Todd. Doesn't seem right calling you Sweeney Todd, seeing you already have Sweeney and Todd.
John Winston seems a bit posh, astounding.
Yes, I agree. Jonathan Winston is, well, I don't think the other prisoners would take very well to a hobble name like that.
I just can't think of him as anything except Mr. 13.
Yes, I agree. I'm going to change the roster to reflect 13 as his name. Will 13 be the first name? No, that won't do. 13 would be the surname. What would you like your first name to be?
Tobias. Tobias. Why Tobias?
Because it will remind me every day of what I was.
Fortunately for us, as there weren't no bodies, he wasn't hanged. He's up at Newgate Prison now, cutting hair and shaving their men. They let me see him every 2 weeks, and he looks good. They treat him real good. He should be out in another 17 years. That's not too long to wait.